Kiyumi's phone tells him it's a bit after 2 in the afternoon. Before he shoves it in the pocket of his jeans, he breathes in, adjusts the mask on his face and reaches up with his free hand to press the doorbell. His brows scrunch up at the muffled scream that he hears from inside, worry spiking as he recognizes the sound, but before he can do anything, the door is opened and he stumbles a bit as a figure is pushed into him. Fucking hell, take him. Atsumu lets out a not squeak, his hands grabbing the front of Kiyumi's clothes to not fall, which, in hindsight, was a dumb decision as it'd have made them both fall. Instead, Kiyumi's hands dropped what they were holding to hold Atsumu by his waist, and he swears his heart skips several beats when his boyfriend looks up at him, honey brown eyes blinking. His Atsumu is so pretty he will never get used to this. Then Atsumu grins and Kiyumi melts. Hey, baby. He reaches up a hand, finger pulling down Kiyumi's mask. Hi. Atsumu's hand cups his cheek and he winces promptly. Cold, he doesn't remove his hand though, and Kiyumi hums, leaning into the warm touch. Seriously, I'm right here, you know. Atsumu turns his head back to glare at his twin. Then leave, shitty. Osamu scowls, glaring at the back of Atsumu's head. He then meets Kiyumi's eyes, giving him a warning look that the spiker is all too familiar with by now. Don't make out right outside the front door, I'm too broke to move out. At that, Atsumu gives him a mischievous grin, and Kiyumi understands. Of course he does. Leaning down, it makes Osamu immediately break off in a series of swear words, turning around and disappearing inside in less than 3 seconds. Atsumu bursts in laughter just before their lips actually meet, and Kiyumi can't help the smile tugging at his lips. So childish, so beautiful and all mine. The spiker lets out a small whine, poking his boyfriend's cheek with his nose. Kiss. Atsumu moves back to look at him, but Kiyumi doesn't let him. He doesn't show it, but he is very clingy. Sue him. Whatever. Okay, you big baby. And they kiss. Atsumu's hands on his cheeks. He has a stupid smile on his face when they pull away, and Kiyumi knows his face has an identical one. He feels all warm inside. The butterflies never go away. Then Atsumu's hands on his cheek pull them and wow. Okay. Sap. No. Yes. Kiyumi glares. No particular heat in it. I'm big and scary and not a sap at all. K-ice. The spiker flicks his forehead, making the boond whine, finally stepping back. It's then they both realize. Kiyumi picks up the bouquet of roses on the ground. A few petals fall down. Oh my. Fuck. Did I make you drop them? No. He hastily adds. I sneezed and dropped them just before you came out. Atsumu frowns. I'm not that stupid. Gimme. I'll be right back. Before Kiyumi can tell him he'll buy him new ones, Atsumu is taking the bouquet from his hands and disappearing inside. He could go in, but he doesn't want to face Osamu. The younger twin always makes it a point to drill it into his head how Kiyumi will regret it if he hurts Atsumu even after almost a year of dating, and Osamu is scary. Atsumu appears a few minutes later, still yelling at Osamu about God knows what, until he blows a raspberry and finally shuts the door. A dull thump against the door signaling something thrown at the wood. Kiyumi raises a brow. Do I wanna know? Atsumu cheerfully replies. Nope, Osamu's just bitching like always. Kiyumi doesn't comment on that, only smiling under his mask when Atsumu grabs his sleeve, tugging. Damn that stupid Samu, gonna make us late for our date. The spiker doesn't question how it's Osamu's fault. He knows the answer, an incredulous look that practically spells out, are you seriously asking that? Somehow every tiny inconvenience is Osamu's fault according to his boyfriend, but he doesn't care, because Atsumu is slipping his hand into Kiyumi's, and fuck, he is a sap. They go to the movies first. It's December and Kiyumi dreads the movies that might be up, but Atsumu ends up choosing a horror movie that looks decent enough. Kiyumi supposes. They don't really do movie dates, with Kiyumi's dislike for crowded public places and the fact that they see each other too less because of the distance. to spend it sitting through 3 hours of having their attention on anything other than directly each other. But it's Atsumu's call today and Kiyumi is fine as long as he's with his boyfriend. That's inconvenient. Kiyumi mutters, watching the woman on the screen trip as she tries running from the killer or whatever it is. He isn't really paying much attention because Atsumu has pushed up the armrest thingy and is curled up to his side. So close he can smell the setter's shampoo. He's watching through the gaps between his fingers held up to his face. Kiyumi snorts. What's more terrifying is the little girl several seats to their side throwing popcorn up and trying to catch it in her mouth. Most of which falls down disgusting. She gonna die. Kiyumi agrees as he sees a woman, her mom, slap her hand, lean in to whisper scold and he realizes Atsumu is talking about the woman in the movie. Same difference. The movie is nearly over, he guesses. Settling more comfortably with the lump of warmth stuck to his side, he idly runs his fingers through blonde hair for the rest of the movie. So stupid. Like, that's not even possible. How do you get stabbed in the shoulder and manage to break down a door? It's a movie, baby, chill. Kiyumi's rubbing the sanitizer on his hands, pushing the bottle to the other side of the table where his boyfriend is sitting there at a cafe, just finished with the movie that Atsumu wouldn't stop talking about. Yeah, but did you see? She pulled out the knife. You're not supposed to pull out the knife. Yes, I did see it. Kiyumi barely even remembers the first 10 minutes. And she didn't die. Is blood loss a myth? And you saw how there were other people living in the neighborhood, right? Yes, I did. Kiyumi holds back a pout as his boyfriend goes on about the dumb movie. Ugh. When they should be talking about couple why stuff. It's annoying. He hums and mutters. Yes, eyes to every question. Their orders arrive and Kiyumi shoves a spoonful of vanilla cake into his mouth. And the pizza guy looked so terrified. Imagine going to deliver a pizza at night and there's a woman covered in blood telling you to call the police. Poor guy. Right? Yesh. Number. There was no pizza guy. Oh. He gives him a look. Don't blame me, the movie was boring as shit. Atsumu chuckles, agreeing. He adjusts his thick scarf, grabs his spoon and finally digs into his chocolate cake. Not boring enough to leave, though. Kiyumi shrugs. I had fun doing other things. That sounds wrong. By the way, when are you leaving? He checks the time. 5:47 an hour. Oh, Atsumu's face falls a bit and Kiyumi's heart clenches. Sorry, Achu. At that Atsumu smiles. Nothing to be sorry about. Omi, I'll have you within arm's reach one day. Remember that. Kiyumi blushes at that. Images of waking up together, legs tangled in between sheets popping up in his head. He clears his throat. Yeah, I'd like that. Trade? Sure. Kiyumi pushes his half-eaten cake across the table and Atsumu does the same. The vanilla one is better. Just saying. So, where to next? His butt is cold. The park bench is freezing, but Atsumu's practically on his lap, head on his shoulder with Kiyumi's arm wrapped around him. He'd been talking about something, voice dipping high and low at different parts of his story, but he trailed off. One of his hands is grabbing the front of Kiyumi's sweater and his voice is barely above a whisper as he says, "This is nice." Kiyumi smiles softly. "You stink." Atsumu sounds scandalized. "I do not," he whines. "We were having a moment, Omi." Kiyumi shrugs. Indifferent. "You hurt me." He tugs at one end of the scarf. His scarf. That has been around Kiyumi's neck since they left the cafe, and he sneezed twice. There's a serious look on his face. "Compensate me for emotional damages now." Kiyumi leans and presses his lips to what of Atsumu he can reach from his position, which happens to be his forehead. Atsumu's eyes flutter close. Not enough. Kiyumi rolls his eyes, shifting and beginning to pepper kisses all over Atsumu's face. Atsumu giggles, and he can feel the setter's smile against his lips as he kisses him. It's sweet, and Atsumu follows his lips when he pulls away. Kiyumi has to leave soon, and they are both celebrating Christmas with their families, so it'll be a while before they get to see each other again, and they both know it. So Kiyumi kisses him a bit longer, and holds him a lot closer till it's time. Atsumu insists on seeing him off. I live close. I can get home on my own. It's 6:52. 8 minutes till the train back to Tokyo arrives and Atsumu won't meet his eyes. Kiyumi sighs softly. Atsumu. Look at me. And he looks up. Bottom lip wobbling and eyes glassy. Kiyumi's heart hurts at the sight. And he delicately cups the setter's cheeks. Don't want you to leave. I know, baby. We'll see each other soon. It's a lie and they both know it, but Atsumu nods. And Kiyumi wipes off the few tears that escape at the movement with his thumbs. He pulls him into a hug and Atsumu's shoulders are shaking all while Kiyumi whispers in his ear and rubs his back. Atsumu lets out a watery chuckle against his chest. Of course you still have to compensate me fully. Emotional damages. You know I'm forever scarred by your rude words. But full compensation will take me my whole life and like 3 more. Then you're stuck with me. He presses his lips to the top of Atsumu's head, chuckling. Guess I am. Atsumu inhales sharply, hands clutching the front of Kiyumi's sweater. I'll miss you. The lady announces the estimated arrival of the train and Atsumu's grip tightens. I'll miss you so fucking much. Kiyumi. I know, Achu. Atsumu takes a second, then pulls away, eyes fixated on Kiyumi's chest, twitching fingers moving to adjust his scarf. What kinda dummy walks around with no scarf in December? Stupid. I have one so I wouldn't know. Atsumu pauses for a moment. Smartus. Shut your trap. You don't want it back? I have enough of your clothes. You can have one of mine. What an honor. The train finally arrives and Atsumu tenses, to which Kiyumi tilts his head up with a finger and presses a light kiss to his lips, followed by one on his forehead. I'll see you soon, okay? You better. I love you, Atsumu. Atsumu nods, voice cracking as he says it back. I love you too, Omi-kun.